Well, it is 9:02, so I want to say officially good morning and thank you for joining us for this coffee break update. We are always thrilled that you can join us and spend a little bit of your every other Friday morning with us. It's good to have everyone here. We have another packed house. It's one of those things that we continue to use to try and sustain and fulfill that little bit of a void of not getting to meet in person. So we appreciate you being here as best you can, as much as we all can, and hearing the information we have present to you today, as we always do. I want to, for anyone who is going to be speaking this morning, we had a little Zoom issue. Some of you heard it, some of you didn't. So I didn't get to talk to everyone who is going to be speaking this morning. But if you are, we have already made you a co-host, so you're able to unmute yourself when your time comes. So please do that. And for the rest of everyone here, again, good morning. If you have questions at any point this morning, I'll ask you to point them to Neil Harris. He's one of the board members for the Hesperia Chamber of Commerce. Did I even say my name yet, Neil?
No, you haven't. You skipped the part where you introduced yourself and jumped right to introducing me. So thanks for that.
Geez.
Stop billing.
Okay, so but I want to point out that I in fact am Marshall Haprov. Now, if you were to scroll through the attendees list right now, the participants, you might in fact see this face and the name Marshall Haprov on another user. That is because that is actually Shannon. So we are using Shannon. We're happy and grateful to Shannon for letting us use her Zoom account because Mark Creffield is not joining us this morning. He is leading the Victor Valley Chamber's Leadership Academy leadership group this morning on another Zoom call. So we're using Shannon. So I had to change I changed the photo and the backdrop you see and the name to Marshall, and then Shannon came in, and so Shannon's also Marshall. So if you're confused yet, me too. So that makes a lot of us.
So you're Marshall, but Shannon's Marshall too as well, also.
Right, but there's not a 1 and a 2. It's just yes. It's just
so you're Marshall 1, and then he's Marshall 1 also.
Something like, yeah. Who are you again?
I'm not even sure at this point.
Well, good. Hey, but we do have Jenny. Hey, Jenny. I see Jenny there.
Hey guys, good morning.
Jenny, since you're here and since Mark's not, can we rib you like we do with Mark?
You guys can try.
All right, and since Mark's not here, Marshall, is this kind of a little bit like mom and dad have gone out of town and the kids are running the house and Jenny's here to make sure we don't get in trouble?
You'd think, but
that's what this is.
I'll bet you though that Mark not being here it's probably going to bring out the best in us. I mean, it'll probably be the nicest we've ever been on this presentation, right? So anyways, if you have questions for any of our presenters this morning, please direct them to Neil Harris in the chat function. We have a few.
So we already have questions, Marshall.
Okay, do we?
We have a question you need to jump in on. Yeah, is that an I Heart the HD sweatshirt that you were wearing?
Absolutely, 100%.
Right. Casey wants to know where she can get one.
I'll text you, Casey, and I'll let you know. Yeah, it's I had it custom made. I literally went and had this custom made because the t-shirt was not going to keep me warm, especially this morning. It was 28 degrees when I left my house in Hesperia this morning. That the I Heart HD shirt was not going to work. So I have the hoodie. So we are fortunate to have sponsors every time we bring you the coffee break update, and we are going to start this morning with one of our sponsors. We have the Girl Scouts of San Gorgonio, and I believe we have, and I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your first name, and I don't want to butcher it, so I'm just going to let you take it.
Okay, that sounds wonderful. And you're right, my name drives every educator insane because it breaks every grammar rule. So my name is Kanae Hawley. If you saw the K in the end, typically the K should in fact be silent. So, and I'm very excited to be here. Marshall, my colleague is out ill this morning, so I am filling in at the very last second. Marshall, so I have like 2 minutes, right?
About a minute usually.
Okay, then. All right. Well, we will get right to it then. So I'm sure that everyone on this call at some point in time has encountered a Girl Scout cookie, and you're familiar with the Girl Scout cookie program, which is the largest entrepreneurial program in the entire world for girls. Well, as you can imagine with the pandemic, things are going to look very different for the cookie program, and for the skill set that girls gain from this could be challenged in this upcoming year in February. So from the cookie program, girls gain skills like decision making, money management, business ethics, goal setting, all of those things that the girls are going to carry those skills throughout the rest of their life. So we're relying on the business community because we do not know if girls are going to be able to be out in the public every day that goes on with the pandemic. We're pretty sure they're not going to be able to be out in booths in front of the Stater Brothers and the Walmarts where you've seen the girls before. So we're asking the business community if you could open your Zoom meeting and allow girls to make their cookie presentation to you so they can continue to gain these skills. We would really be grateful to the business community for that. So if it's your service club, if it's your business group, we're asking you to sign up and allow the girls to make their presentation and practice their skills. To get more information, I think we've sent this out to the entire chamber, but just in case you have not received the invitation to join, you can reach out to me at my email address, which is khawley@gssgc.org, and I can send you the invitation to join. So again, we appreciate it. Thank you for the support, and thank you for the time this morning, Marshall One.
Thank you, Kanae, and thank you for clarifying your name, and also thank you for asking. I gave you incorrect information. It is in fact 2 minutes. Mark Creffield is not even on this call, but somehow his ears still heard what is going on here. And I kid you not, he texted me and he said, sponsors get 2 minutes as you were speaking. So I don't know how he does it. And quite frankly, I don't want to know how he does it. I'll let him keep his magic to himself. But thank you, Kanae, for speaking. And thank you to the Girl Scouts of San Gorgonio for sponsoring this morning's coffee break update. We absolutely appreciate it. And now we will get moving with our normal updates for you. We are going to start with the City of Hesperia. And I want to introduce to you the man who has been, up until this last Tuesday, was the mayor of his City of Hesperia for the last 2 years, and just was recently certified as being re-elected as a councilman for the City of Hesperia and the City Council. Please welcome Larry Bird. Good morning, Larry.
Good morning, Marshall, and good morning to everyone. And yes, it's a brisk day out there, but what a beautiful day. What a beautiful day. I have the pleasure of introducing to you our new mayor. We chose him the other night when we, as Marshall said, we certified the 3 candidates who won their elections, and that was myself and Bridget Bennington and Rebecca Swanson. And so then the 5 of us voting 4-1 voted in Cameron Gregg as our new mayor, and that's how we do that in Hesperia. It's not a directly elected position. It is a position selected by the 5 council members. And now that we are in districts and we've completed the entire district rotation, all council members now have been selected in their districts. So districts 1 through 5. And so Cameron also happens to be the youngest mayor ever selected in the city of Hesperia. Hesperia's been around 32 years now as a city. And he is the youngest ever, and I will give his name out because, hey, when you're young, it doesn't really matter, right? You want people to know your age. And he is 30 years old, so he is the youngest mayor to be selected in the city of Hesperia. And also he happens to be, to show how old I am, he happens to be one of my former students. So this is really a neat thing for me personally, and that's why I really wanted to have an opportunity to introduce him. But we have a great deal of confidence in Cameron, and he's going to carry on our updates. And so without further ado, Cameron, I'd like to take on over there. And good to see everyone, and good to see you again, Marshall, and hope you have a great day.
Thanks, Larry. Good morning, Cameron.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Larry, for that great introduction. I would like to acknowledge all the great contributions that you've done for our city, especially with, these trying times for our city going through the COVID. And I mean, you've been out front with all this stuff, and definitely been providing the information that everybody needs. So to continue there, I definitely look forward to working with our entire council and serve this Hesperia residents as best as I can. So definitely appreciate that. To get on to our updates, as you're aware or may be aware, the governor issued a new stay-at-home order requiring some business sectors to close or modify operations no later than tomorrow afternoon. The state has said that it is expected that the order will be in place for 3 weeks. It's kind of one of those tragedy events here that we have going on again. Even though positivity rates have been low in our community over the last few months, there has been a significant uptick. So we're definitely monitoring that to keep that trend, under close watch. So over the last several weeks, causing a shortage of hospital beds. That's one of the biggest reasons why that new order has been issued from the governor. If you need or want COVID-19 tests, please visit sbcovid.com to book an appointment. And as always, those with cold and flu symptoms should stay home and try to get some rest there. Additionally, beginning next week, the Hesperia Animal Shelter will be closed to the public. Those wishing to retrieve a lost pet or adopt a pet are asked to contact the shelter to make an appointment. We anticipate the shelter will reopen on January 5th, 2021. And another event that's going on in the city, the American Red Cross is hosting a blood drive at the library community room on Thursday, December 10th from 9:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Due to COVID, appointments are required. Visit www.redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment. And everybody have a great morning, and we look forward to working closely with all the leaders within our community. And
Absolutely. Thank you, Mayor Greg, for that report. Neil, do we have any questions for Mayor Greg?
Yeah, just one at this point. Mayor Greg, is City Hall currently open for business?
so City Hall is currently open for business. I know that we are looking to go more towards appointments. Obviously, we definitely want people to have appointments, but City Hall is open for business right now. So,
all right, thank you very much, and Cameron, congratulations on being the next mayor of Hesperia.
thank you, Nels. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mayor Greg.
Thank you, Marshall.
All righty. So we're going to move forward to our next sponsor. But before we do that, Neil and I we had a moment to talk before Zoom opened the floodgates and let everybody in. We were talking about the difficulties of the season and the needs of our community and our residents. And it seemed like this morning would be an appropriate time to maybe share some of what we were talking about. So Neil, do you want to take it from there?
Yeah, I will. I'll say this. This has been such a wild and wacky year and unprecedented just season for everybody. And as business leaders, we are all feeling it. We're all experiencing it. I have the unique opportunity to both interact with you guys on the business side and the commercial side of life, and also to be pretty active in the nonprofit community through the church and my role there. And in the same way that we're experiencing, sorry, the coffee maker's going off. In the same way that in business, we're experiencing all kinds of unprecedented challenges. The nonprofit world is too. And I'll give credit to Clint Alford, one of the board members over at Hesperia. he mentioned earlier this week that maybe in the coffee update, we take this opportunity to remind those of us in business that the nonprofit sector and those that we would normally contribute to this time still need our contributions, and that maybe if you have not yet connected with a nonprofit that you support in some way, that now might be a good season in which to consider doing so. And so I was just telling Marshall, like, because of my involvement in the community, I would be happy if anybody has questions about maybe there's an interest or an area of need that you really want to be involved in, but you don't know who to get connected with. I would be happy to be a resource to you and help you find that agency that you want to support in this time and even moving forward. So feel free to reach out to me. I know, one of the things that we can always do is just look to our community and say who's doing good in the community in ways that I want to support and give back. So I would encourage everybody to do so if you aren't already doing so, and to support our nonprofits out there. They're doing good work.
Exactly. Thank you, Neil. Thank you for sharing that. You said it far more eloquently than I could. I appreciate it. Well, we have another sponsor to introduce to you this morning for our coffee break update. That is KVVB TV. And here to talk about KVVB TV is our friend Tim Harris. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning. How's everybody this morning? I hope they are well. I just, we wanted to bring this to the attention of the community. KVVB has created a centralized podcast called Valley Insider Podcast that everyone who owns a smartphone, it has internet connection, Wi-Fi, or media system in their car can easily and readily access. This program is targeted for only the high desert community. We're not targeting it outside of our area at all. KVVB took a step back and looked at the greater picture and realized that there are numerous issues, various events, and vital information that local folks are unaware of or don't know how and what resources are available to them, nor how to access them. This podcast will pick up that slack. You may have heard the term influencer. We have those here on a local level. They are formally known as movers and shakers. They are the type of people who will be interviewed on our podcast. This will involve people of leadership quality or people that can be recognized as a public figure within our region, such as Marshall, for example. He is easily recognizable by that big target he has on his chest right now. So that's the one. For those of you that are curious about how dramatic podcasting has impacted mainstream media and small businesses, we will be hosting a new presentation on Valley Insider Podcast at a later date. So stay tuned for it. This podcast will be starting immediately after Christmas. If you have any questions, or if you feel that you are one of these influencers, please send us an email at insider, that's INSIDER, at kvvb.tv. That's phonetically Kilo Victor Victor Baker Tango Victor. So kvvb.tv. Or you can call our offices at 760-684-8749. We've had a pretty good response from this already, and I think find it very, very interesting.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that information, and definitely looking forward to checking out the Valley Insider Podcast. That's great. Also, I did not know that I was an influencer, and I did not know that this was a target on my chest, but I do now, and so I appreciate you bringing that to my attention, and I will be very careful the rest of today. So thank you for that, Tim. We appreciate KVVB.TV sponsoring the coffee break update. If you would like to be a sponsor of the next coffee break update, I encourage you to reach out to Double O CEO Mark Creffield. He will tell you how easy it is to be a sponsor. You can shoot him an email or call the chamber office, or you could even ask Jenny. She's right there. She's right here. You could ask her in the chat if you want to. You could send her a direct chat. And a reminder, if you have questions for any of our presenters this morning, maybe you're just joining us, use the chat function to send your question to Neil Harris. And then as time allows, we will get your questions to the presenters. So speaking of presenters, we have our next one for you from the City of Victorville. It's always good to hear from our friend at the City of Victorville, Public Information Officer, Sue Jones. Good morning, Sue.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. As you know, the County Registrar of Voters has certified the election results from November 3rd. We did have some back and forth and shifting in some of our council seats, and it was a little bit of a nail biter, but we now know the election results are final. And Councilmember Blanca Gomez was reelected. Elizabeth Becerra was also elected, and that final seat was won by Leslie Irving. Congratulations to all the council members, and they will be joining current council members Deborah Jones and Rita Ramirez. They will be sworn in. The new council members will be sworn in this coming Tuesday on December 8th at 6 o'clock, and you can watch that on Zoom if you're interested. And the interesting thing here for us in the City of Victorville is this is our first all-female Victorville City Council, and that's a really exciting time for us and a great thing for the history of Victorville as well. If you're paying attention, you may have also noticed that our Victorville Measure P was approved by the Victorville voters. This 1 cent sales tax will go into effect on April 1st, and it will begin to be collected at the point of sale by retailers. And then there will be a little bit of a lag before it gets to the City of Victorville, before we can begin to use it. We expect that maybe we'll receive the first quarter of funds in time for us to begin budgeting our next fiscal year dollars. This is actually a great reinforcement from our community that they want to see a stronger Victorville. They want to see increased safety. They see a need for increased city services, such as police and fire, code enforcement. They want us to address our homeless problem and expand some of our services like library and literacy programs. I want the community to know that we're very grateful to the voters and that we take the trust that they've placed in us extremely seriously. And we look forward to putting these funds to good use to build a safer and stronger Victorville for our community. So thank you very much for that. Also, if you've been paying attention, just last night, we put out an announcement that we have experienced or are experiencing an outbreak of COVID-19 among our city workforce. Within the last 14 days, we've had 23 positive cases among our city employees. So we've made the decision to close city facilities to public access. We will continue to work. Employees will be continuing to fulfill their duties. However, as a protective and precautionary measure to protect our community, we are closing our buildings for a temporary period. This has gone into effect as of today, and we expect that it will be in place through at least mid-January until we could try to get the outbreak under control. And we certainly don't want to be a place for further exposure, and we need to continue continuity of service to our community. So we do need to protect our workforce so that we can continue to provide those essential services to our community that you rely so much on. I do want you to know that we have very robust customer service services available to you online. We have online bill pay. You could submit business license and permit applications online. You can also pay bills by phone, And we have customer service agents available to assist you by phone. All of this information and the various ways that you can work with us remotely are available on our website at victorvilleca.gov/coronavirus. If you go to our website, at the very top, there's a red bar for coronavirus updates. Please click on that from time to time, and we'll be posting updates there. Unfortunately, because of this situation, we've made the difficult decision to cancel our drive-in movie night, our Cars and Reels drive-in movie night that was planned for December 5th. We're just as disappointed about this as you must be in our community, but we, again, have to make these decisions to protect our community. What's happening among our workforce at the city is indicative of what's happening in our community. There's absolutely a surge going on. And as was mentioned in the update from Hesperia, this is taxing our resources, specifically in our healthcare system. Our local hospitals are unfortunately faced with implementing surge plans. We've already been outreached to as the city to be prepared to help maybe even put a field treatment site together to help our healthcare system deal with these surges. And that's what we would actually put a fire paramedic team in place to actually help with triage at a local hospital. So this is an extremely serious situation for us. Another thing that we've noticed is an overload on the 911 system. There's some false feeling in the community that if you have COVID symptoms and you arrive by ambulance at a hospital, that you somehow will jump ahead in line and get help sooner than someone else, and that's simply not true. We're beginning to put out messaging and a plea to the public to please use 911 appropriately, only call in case of a medical emergency, so that we can actually get medical resources to the people that need them. Begin by using your primary care physician, go to urgent care if at all possible. And you may begin to realize if you do dial 911, there's protocols in place by 911 operators where they're going to begin to triage you, and they're going to actually get you the help you need in a more appropriate fashion than immediately sending you an ambulance. And if you have a medical emergency, you're going to get the help you need. But we're just trying to make you aware that there is an overload situation right now. So please do your part to help us continue to provide vital services to our community. And with that sad note, I'm sorry, it's not more positive, but I'm going to pass it back to you, Marshall.
It's all the information that you need to share, and we understand that, and we appreciate, of course, you doing that with us and joining us on Coffee Break Update, Sue. Neil, do we have any questions for Sue and the City of Victorville?
We do not have any questions at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like you covered everything well, Sue. So thank you for that. We appreciate it. It's good to see you. So we have another sponsor to introduce to you this morning. We were supposed to have with us Mark Driscoll from Mercy Air. He was going to be coming on here and talking with you, as was the case with the Girl Scouts. And also we were supposed to have Gabriel Reyes, the mayor of the city of Adelanto. It's just things, sometimes happen at last minute. And so they couldn't join us, and Mark unfortunately couldn't join us from Mercy Air. However, he did send over a little bit of information that he asked for me to read to you. So I wanted to do that now. Again, of course, thanking Mercy Air for their sponsorship of this morning's Coffee Break Update. Mark says, I would just like to say that we continue to provide our air medical services during COVID, taking appropriate precautions in accordance with the CDC guidelines. We are also working across the country with hospitals who experience a surge in their ERs and ICUs. In those cases, we are able to help them manage the surge by transporting those patients to other facilities that have the capacity. This reduces the strain on hospitals and allows them to better manage patient care. So that is the information from Mercy Air. Of course, you can check out Mercy Air. You can find them online. They're actually with Air Methods. So you go to airmethods.com, and that's where you can get more information on Mercy Air. So thank you again to them for sponsoring this morning's coffee break update. Now I get the distinct privilege to give you some information and an update on Chamber of Commerce goings on. So we have a couple of things to tell you about. First is the Accolades Awards is coming up this coming Wednesday on December 9th. That is at 8 a.m. It's essentially taking the place, or is in fact, a Valley Morning Insight. So several people will be awarded, will be receiving awards, and you'll get to see those on Wednesday morning. Jenny, do I need to add any information on Accolades or VMI for Wednesday morning?
Just that the invitation did go out. So just make sure you check your emails and you register for the Accolades meeting.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you register, then you can be sure to get in. Mark will let you in to the Zoom meeting on Wednesday morning. Hopefully he lets me in after he watches this video. Next up, so the Victor Valley Chambers Awards are on Wednesday, and then on December 14th, that's a Monday at noon, is the 2020 Chamber Awards for the Hesperia Chamber of Commerce. The e-invites have been sent out and will also be in today's Friday e-blast. I think that goes for the Accolades as well. So if you haven't received the link either for the Accolades Awards ceremony on Wednesday or the Hesperia Chamber Awards on Monday, December 14th, you can email Mark Creffield at, we'll put his email addresses in the chat box. It's mcreffield@vvchamber.com or mark@hesperiacc.com. So then the last thing we're happy to report to you that the final results are in, and the members of the Apple Valley Chamber of Commerce have voted 42-7 to approve the merger to the Greater High Desert Chamber of Commerce. So that is now all 4 chambers who were proposing to merge, and all chambers have agreed, whether it was by membership or by board vote. So we are moving forward to that, and of course you will absolutely be getting information on that very soon on how what the next steps are in that process. I'm sure that most everyone has probably gotten to see the video. If you haven't, you can still see that on any of the chambers Facebook pages, and I think most, if not all, of the chamber websites. So that's something absolutely that we're excited about. It's been a long time coming. A lot of people have put a lot of hours into how it might look and how it would work, and making it happen. And so now we are full steam ahead, coming into the new year, and looking at a large unified chamber. So congratulations to all the chambers and to all the members who are going to benefit from the new Greater High Desert Chamber of Commerce. Well, I think that is all the updates for the chambers. So now we have our final presentation for you this morning from the town of Apple Valley, and we have joining us this week the Director of Business Development and Communications, our friend Orlando Acevedo. Good morning, Orlando.
Good morning, Marshall. Good morning, everyone. I'm happy to be here this morning, sitting in for Doug. And first, let me just start by saying I haven't seen many of you since Thanksgiving. I do hope you had a great Thanksgiving during these incredibly trying, challenging times. It is good to take a moment to reflect and to give thanks. So I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. This week, we also celebrated our virtual Christmas tree lighting to kick off the holiday season. We invite our residents, families, and friends to take their annual photos at the tree. It's really turned into a fun location for families to come and take their annual Christmas photos. And so we encourage folks to do so. This year, we actually have also tried to convert it to some sort of physical engagement, and that is we've invited our families, our residents, to bring an ornament bearing their family name and place it on our Christmas tree here at Civic Center. And throughout the course of the next several weeks, we'll probably highlight some of those. Obviously, anything inappropriate will be removed, but we think everybody will enjoy that opportunity. And just in time for Christmas gift shopping, you may have heard that C's Candies has opened here in Apple Valley, a permanent location at Just Ranch Marketplace next to DNC. They tried successfully last year to pilot that store, and it sounds like by all accounts, it was a great success. I know my family, my wife in particular, probably contributed significantly to that success last year, and so I hope we all can join and visit the store there. If you're not in the Christmas spirit yet, maybe a little bit of chocolate will help you get there. So hope you get a chance to visit that place. A few other locations have also opened or reopened here in Apple Valley. OG's Pizza reopened Wednesday. I know it's a difficult time to open a restaurant, but I imagine they'll pivot to takeout or delivery, or at least takeout. I haven't talked to them, but I imagine given that they've just reopened this week, I'm sure they'll look at an alternative business model over the next several weeks. DeNapoli's has opened as well, and so we'll reach out to them to see if they're also pivoting to takeout and delivery. And then you may have already heard, I'm sure Doug probably mentioned, Dutch Bros Coffee has opened here in Apple Valley at the corner of Navajo and Bear Valley Road. And that's the first location, and that's the first location for Dutch Bros in all of SoCal. So we're excited about that. And if you've been there, you know how long the lines can be. I'm actually reading on Instagram that people are driving 2 hours, 120 miles to go to Dutch Bros. And some people have said, maybe it's like In-N-Out opening up in Texas, right? People are willing to wait for quite a while, and so maybe that's the Dutch Bros experience that. We knew it was going to be successful, but so far widely successful. As for official business, the town has announced, like many of our neighbors, that we are going to be closing our offices and facilities to public access. We announced that last evening, simply due to the rising case rates and the high positivity rates, not just in Southern California, but in the high desert. And if you look at our post from yesterday, you'll see the numbers that we've provided. Positivity rates here in the high desert are higher than some of the other areas surrounding us, including the Inland Empire. And so with that and the shrinking ICU bed availability, we've decided to close our offices and to pivot to virtual customer services. Just as my colleague Sue mentioned, we will continue to provide service. We want to make that abundantly clear. We are providing service, customer service, just with our doors closed. So whether it's virtual or via phone or via good old-fashioned mail and delivery, residents can provide payment, or developers and builders can submit plans, and on and on. We will continue to provide core services, public safety, road maintenance, sewer maintenance, code enforcement services. All of those core services will continue. Those are just the doors will be closed. But for more information on that, you can visit our website or give us a call at the office. And our phone number is 760-240-7000. This coming Tuesday, our council will appoint a new mayor and mayor pro tem to serve us in 2021. And I want to take a moment to say thank you to Mayor Scott Nassif, who has served us well this last year during 2020, during a remarkable time. I want to thank him for his commitment to our community, to his constituents, to our residents. And as a communications professional, I'm incredibly grateful for the time that he gave to providing almost weekly, but certainly regular updates to our community via video and other messaging. It was critical during COVID, and will continue to be critical during COVID, especially, that we are communicating with our residents as to what the happenings are here at the local and state level. So on Tuesday, the council will also be appointing, or at least discussing, the creation of a citizens advisory committee to look at budget cuts over the coming year. That was one thing that resulted from the failure of Measure O, the sales tax revenue measure here in Apple Valley. We are going to have to take a good hard look at budget cuts over the next year. And so the council will be appointing a citizens advisory committee made up of residents and interested parties to help them look at the general fund and all that is paid for or subsidized by the general fund to determine where we can find budget cuts, budget savings over the next year. So that will be discussed on Tuesday. That's been a big concern, a big question of our community is, how are you making these cuts? What decisions are you, or what statistics or data are you arriving at these decisions based on, and who has input on these decisions? And so the mayor and the council will be taking that up on Tuesday. And then finally, I just wanted to share that the town is partnering with the Village Business District to write a new planning tool called a specific plan. This has been something for many years in the making in the village area. They want to really establish themselves as a historic downtown environment, and a specific plan will help them accomplish that over the course of the next several years. If you're familiar with the village area, it's where Mama Carpino's is, and Town's End, the post office, and so Off the Grid Brewery, et cetera, et cetera. And so that area has, over the course of the last 50 years, beginning as the town's first commercial corridor, continuing to evolve, and this will take them even further. And so they'll be working on that over the next several months. They've welcomed input from the public. You don't have to be an Apple Valley resident, but if you're familiar with the area, if you frequent shops and restaurants there, we hope you engage in that discussion. You can take a survey. It's been posted on our website, av.town/pbid, and that's av.town/pbid. There you can go and offer your voice on what you envision for the village. Thank you, Marshall. That is all. That is all I have. I hope everyone has a great, I may not see you again for the rest of the year, so I hope you all have a great Thanksgiving, a great Christmas, and Happy New Year.
Absolutely. Thank you for the update, Orlando. Well, some of us put our Thanksgiving plans on hold, so some of us still may plan to have a happy Thanksgiving whenever that opportunity arises. So thank you for that update. We appreciate it. On the See's Candy note, that may be in Apple Valley, but it is also 10 minutes from my house. So my wallet is about to be very upset that has a permanent location now in the Dress Ranch Marketplace. Neil, do we have any questions for Orlando in the town of Apple Valley?
So as of a few minutes ago, we didn't. And then I don't know if you guys noticed, but the PowerPoint went away. My entire Wi-Fi network dropped and rebooted. So the chat log has been completely reset on my end of things. So if you have a question and I missed it, I deeply apologize. And you can send your hate mail to Marshall Haprov. AQMD.
That's not even the email, but that's fine, whatever.
I know. Oh, I didn't give your address out. I'm just saying send your complaints to Marshall.
Well, yeah, I just join the rest of them. It's fine. Thank you, Orlando.
Yeah, I don't believe we have any questions.
Awesome. All right. Yeah, and we don't even really have time to wait and ask for other questions as they might come forward, because this is it. This is the end. We've reached the end. We've heard from the City of Hesperia, City of Victorville, Town of Apple Valley. City of Adelanto unfortunately couldn't join us this week, but we want to say thank you to Girl Scouts of San Gorgonio, KVVB.TV, and Mercy Air for sponsoring this week's coffee break update. We appreciate it. We appreciate all of you for joining us as always, and immensely, I can't stress this enough. Please stay safe, stay healthy, whatever that means for you and your family. Please, we want to see everyone thriving. We know it might take some time, but we will get there eventually. But we just have to get through this. Whatever that next part is, we just have to get through it. So we have 2 weeks, and then we will be with you for our next coffee break update, which happens also to be the final coffee break update of 2020. That will be on Friday, December 18th. So if you would like to be a sponsor for Coffee Break Update on December 18th, please reach out to Double O CEO Mark Creffield, and we will send out an invitation to register to come and join us for that. Probably usually a few days before that. Make sure you keep your eyes open for today's e-blast that is going out to chamber members for both Victor Valley and Hesperia chamber members. That'll have links to register for the Accolades Awards on Wednesday morning for the Victor Valley Chamber, and for the Hesperia Chambers 2020 Awards on Monday, December 14th. And with that, I guess we can unmute everybody. How do I unmute everybody? I don't even know how to do that. This is crazy. Like, this whole thing was going like super well until like right at the very end, and then suddenly it just like all exploded.
Is that when I joined, Marshall?
Somewhere around there, yeah. I just asked everyone to unmute, so I think you can unmute and say goodbye, say hi, whatever you want to do. And
Thanks,
I'll
Marshall. Good job, buddy.
Hey, thanks, boss.
Great presentation. Thank you.
Weekend.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a
Good
great
to see you all.
weekend.
Be safe
Have a
and
happy
healthy.
weekend, everybody.
Good to see you all. Take
You
care.
Stay healthy.
See you
Bye.
soon.
Bye, Jen.